good time zone. And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. Day 2 of Retracing Our Steps. I did quickly get, I only needed the one chip. I got the chip for E2ing Silver Ash. So we can do that. I also heard that the new Civilite skin has new voice lines, so I'm inclined to buy it, actually. Also, the new Lapland one does as well. I don't know how serious those ones are, but I think the Civilite one, I mean, that one is probably got some interesting things to be said there. Let's just get into it. Gotta load up the game. That always takes a second. Whabam.
Yo, Doctor. You had lunch yet?
There we go. For the special recruitment ticket thing today, I got it, and I ended up getting Saga, which is fine, I guess. I tried to get Siege. This is what I tried to do. You know, it's a 1 in 3 chance for Vanguard top operator. But I tried to get Siege since, you know, that's one of the OG year 1 6 stars I don't have. But I got another Saga instead. We can E2 Silver Ash though.
How shall this cooperation of ours end? Will the two of us conquer all of Terra together? Or will we face each other across a board near finished, our conflict inexorable? No matter where the dice may fall, we await the outcome with bated breath.
Chill out. God, I hate this guy. Are we going to work together? Or are we gonna have one final chess match? to try his other skills now. Also, while I'm here, before I forget, because I keep forgetting, I'm changing Locust's default skill. I don't know why it's on skill 1. All these months, this year. How long has it been since he's been out? My gosh, a long time. But it keeps annoying me. All right. So last time on Retracing Our Steps, I guess really it's just you know, it starts off with a sudden avalanche destroying a train station and a section of, I guess a section of a city or something. I actually haven't named this city or place. We don't actually really have many names of any place in Yerrig. There's the lake, there's the mountain, there's the 3 domains, and that's it. Like, but there are towns and there's a city. I don't think it has a name though. The first catastrophe ever in 1,000 years, give or take. And that has shooketh the people of Yerrig. Immediately, international foreign powers step in to try and offer aid, you know, as a way to curry influence and favor, including Harold showing back up. Gnosis goes to the Rhine Lab research station to ask them if they knew anything about this. And also because there's a missing scientist who definitely somehow was involved and seems to have stolen military secrets from Yerrig. One Carolyn, who has since gone MIA. But also, like, helped save a bunch of people's lives because she made a fake bomb threat at the train station, so people fled the train station right before the avalanche. That's cool. But what is she up to? I don't know. A bunch of Yerrigese, I'm not sure what people there are called. Also start protesting at the research station, believing that it's being built atop their holy mountain. Angered Yerrig Gander, and that's why the avalanche occurred. Gnosis had the protesters dispelled. Meanwhile, Framinex, you know, realizes that this is an important religious moment for the people. A catastrophe has struck. Many people believe that Yerrigander had promised to protect them for catastrophe. And now that this has happened, right, people think she is angered. But actually, if you read the scriptures and stuff, there's really nothing that says anything about catastrophe, or that she would promise to protect them from it. But they can't just like say that, because that won't really like help people. in this moment. So she decides to she's going to go on an early pilgrimage, usually done in spring. It is now currently, however, winter. And the pilgrimage is, she just like travels the whole country alone as a way to atone for the sins of the people. Yerrig is also, not Yerrig, but Yara is also Misc. She did say she's wanting to leave the country to the people now, but she disappeared without a word. And that has left Kamenex a bit lost. And that's what happened last time. Among snowy shrubs, new friends bring opportunities if you seize the day. Try skill 2 of our new characters. So this one does the snow spread through stacks. And can freeze the objective point. Still can't tell when there's actual snow. Because her talent is what causes the snow, so whatever. That's the wrong Silver Ash. Skill 2 for Silver Ash is the Schwing Schwing. Characters of Lost Eye of Blizzard will have their own activation of the same skill.
They shall learn.
This one does not actually generate DP though. That's okay. Madam Ratados, I bring a message from my master regarding the meeting of the 3 clans a few days ago. The Pale Roche's stance towards the outsiders is firm. We can never be too careful regarding the faithless. You must be even more vigilant now, with the Saint is set out on a pilgrimage and state affairs deferred to the 3 clans. My master does not think ill of Sir Insuities, but if it is true that Clarence Silverash has been too close to the Victorians, we do not know if he has other intentions. My master has chosen to communicate with you as he sees you as a woman who has always upheld Yerrik's traditions. He is happy to meet with you in person, if you have any thoughts you would like to share. Are you finished? Out of respect for Arktosh, please bring this message back to him. I don't know if Arktosh is harboring a grudge because of the catastrophe occurred on Pale Roche soil, and I don't care. But at the last meeting, we reached the conclusion that none of us should make a move without direction from the Vinebead Court. While the Saintess is absent, the best thing we can do for the nation is to take care of our own business and avoid causing any more issues. That will be all. I did not expect the Victorian... What is the Victorian ambassador doing here? Huh. I see that there is no avoiding these issues. I apologize, but this little thing is of no cause for concern. Let us return to the topic at hand, long-term cooperation between premium Victorian clothing brands and Clan Browntail.
No, wait. With all due respect, Madam Browntail, I'm afraid this is not an issue I can ignore. If the people of Yarrick are so hostile to Victoria, how are we to believe that any cooperation can last?
Our three clans may have our differences, but I am the sole representative of Clan Browntail. You take my word on that.
There's conflict between the three clans. I suppose it's not hard for a Victorian to understand. Not at all. I have made great efforts to learn about Yarrick during my time here. Your culture is exotic and fascinating. While all of Yarrick is united by your Yarriganda faith, the same tenants seem to have had a different influence on the three clans. The brave pale roaches, the clever silver ashes, but you, browntails, I must apologize, and I find it hard to summarize your virtues in a single word. I suppose that way I would put it is that Clan Browntail is noble and trustworthy.
My sympathies for the homework you have to do.
Knowledge is the foundation of cooperation. Her Grace the Duke values cooperation with Yarrick highly, and she is looking for a reliable, proper representative of your land to work with.
Tamsin Solzen. A representative of Yarrick. Is Her Grace unsatisfied with Carlin trade?
Mr. Silverash is a most astute businessman, but this is also his greatest flaw. He will not permit any other winner in his game. I'm sure you understand, as his neighbor.
A keen summary.
Therein lies the problem. The three clans may equally be Yarriganda's children.
In name.
But in the eye of a neon looker like me, they are not. Even an outsider like me can tell that your clan and the Pale Roses have had virtually no effective role in response to this catastrophe. The Silver Ashes and Carlin trade have not only monopolized Yarrick's foreign commerce, but also all of her foreign affairs. And your nominal head of state, the Saint, Mr. Silver Ash's sister, seems to have had no objection to the present situation.
Mind your words, sir. Do not presume to blaspheme the saintess' piety with your prejudice.
I apologize if my frankness have offended you. Please understand that I am speaking out of good faith, and simply conveying that I have observed as an outsider.
Cut to the chase, what's your proposal?
A simple one. Victoria is seeking friendly, equal, and truly mutual beneficial cooperation. Effective long-term cooperation, not one that only benefits one side or limited by narrow-minded nationalism.
A bit ironic.
Her Grace thinks highly of Clan Browntail and of you personally. My presence here is proof of that.
The opinions of foreigners is of no importance to Clan Browntail. Your promise is the very proof of the shifting nature of Victoria's position. If you are wrong if you think Browntail is simply another Clan Silverash but easier to manipulate.
Oh, of course not, Madam Ratatos. The Empire of Victoria does not seek subservience or dependence.
Not sure about that.
She seeks to do the right thing. Clan Silverash is a window that is sometimes open, sometimes closed. Only those inside the room can truly know its contents. Tell me, Madam Browntail, are you not tired of the constant, meaningless tribal conflicts that haunt this land? Well, perhaps you aspire to lead Yarrig into a new era yourself?
I think that'll do for today. Thank you for your visit. I fully understand your proposal, and I have a message for you to bring back to the Duke. She does not yet have a sufficient understanding of Yarrig, but I sincerely hope she will one day find it.
Noted. Well, unfortunately, any commercial cooperation must remain on hold while political issues remain unresolved. But we have plenty of patience for an important partner such as yourself. We look forward to your answer.
I'm glad she rebuffed him. I figured she was already inside with, since he was there in the first place. I was gonna say, you're smarter than that, Ratatos. Dear Insia, I hope this letter finds you well. By the time you read this, you will have already learned of my decision. Don't worry, think of it as your sister going on a long trip. She'll be back before you know it. I'm sorry that we'll have to put our plans for fondue in the Vinebead Court's kitchen on hold, but I promise I'll be good as my word once I get back. Don't worry about Insiades either. He has plans. Though he might be busy for a while, we'll count on you to take care of things at home, alright? There are a lot of things going on. Stay safe and be especially careful when going out. I hope I'll find you as cheerful as always when I return. I'll pray for Yarrigander for both of you. P.S. Remember to keep your appointments at Rhodes Island, follow your doctor's orders, and wear protective gear when climbing the mountains. I looked up everyone's voice, but I forgot about Chester. How could I forget about Chester? Oh well.
Is that a letter from Inya?
Yeah. It's always like this. Same for Enceodes. It's quite enough at home to begin with, and ever since I come back from my trip, he's barely been around.
These are exceptional times. They'll be doing all they can to protect Yarrick. All we can do is trust them and support them.
I know. I just wanted to blow off some steam. They still treat me like a kid, never telling me anything. I can't even know what I'm worrying for. I wanted to help them too. I saw people complaining that that Cliff Hart's not in the event, but she's right here. And she was in it earlier too. Lady Incia, Master Chester. Is Sir Enceodes here? He's probably at his office, why? A herald has arrived from the Vinebead Court. They said they're meeting with Clan Paleroche to discuss cooperation in the joint mining venture, and they want Sir Enceodes to submit the relevant documents early.
I have the documents, but submit them early. Is this a temporary notice?
The herald didn't explain.
Very well, prepare the car. I'll go.
Before he can finish, Incia grabs the documents and runs out the door. You can stay home, Uncle Chester. Let me handle it.
Incia, come back. Enceodes said you not to go outside without permission.
It's alright, Enceodes must have forgotten to bring these with him. I'll have a good laugh at him later. Come on, let's go.
Oh dear. I should let Enceodes know.
A brown car is driving on the mountain path to the Vinebead Court. Sitting in the back seat, Arktosh rubs his neck.
Oh. Why call me over so early in the morning? Is the mining thing so urgent?
I hear Sir Enceodes often stays overnight at the company these days. An early morning meeting would fit his recent routine.
It's not like there's much to discuss. I'm just waiting for the Silver Ash documents to sign off on. Give me the minutes from last time, Gulo. I'll take another look.
Yes, sir.
Sitting in the passenger seat, Gulo takes the documents from the glove box and is about to hand them to Arktosh when the car is violently jolted.
Yeah. What was that?
Falling rocks, they almost hit us.
Falling rocks, here.
The car is once again violently jolted before he could finish, as falling rubble slams against the trunk.
It's not safe inside. We need to get out, sir. The road ahead is blocked.
Fiffen.
What? I guess that's Norwegian? Kind of surprises me. For fuck's sake is what it means. What language do they speak in Yarrick? It's all over the place. The three of them abandon the car and run to the mountainside, but the amount of falling rubble is overwhelming.
Look out!
A rock falls towards Arktosh. Gulo pushes him out of the way and is struck by the sharp edge of the rock on his forehead. His massive frame falls to the ground, bleeding. Arktosh crawls towards Gulo and pulls him closer to the mountain, leaving a long trail of blood on the ground. Oh god. The blood is soon covered by falling rocks.
Gulo! Gulo!
All is not well in Yerrig. The tranquility of the mountain is broken by the roaring sound of engines as the morning mist disperses. Tranquility is not what Degenbrecher seeks right now. She pushes her bike to its limits. The scenery flies by swiftly, but she does not see what she is looking for. The tracks are still visible along the road. The target was here not long ago. There. Degenbrecher jumps off the bike and rounds a corner. Two cars are burning on the road after a collision, sending rancid smoke skywards. Degenbrecher pulls her weapon and creates a gust that extinguishes the fire, revealing the familiar silhouette of a silver ash car. The door is easily cut open, but there is no one inside. Degenbrecher's worst fears have not come true. She hears the sounds of rocks clashing from the direction of the cliff. Both cars were... That feels like it was an attack or something, right? That, like, both cars were hit by falling rocks? That doesn't seem natural. I blame the Victorians until further notice. Degenbrecher looks down at the source of the sound and finds the one she's looking for, despite the dirt and soot on her face. Degenbrecher! Hanging off the side of the cliff with a hook, Inetia looks up at Degenbrecher, unsure how to hide her embarrassment. Well, I guess I screwed up. Her kingdom promises not tomorrow, nor was it built for yesterday. Those who walk the present are closest to her. Her blessings are ever beneath the traveler's feet. The snowflakes stick to her fur collar. The lone traveler pulls her hood tight and walks up the mountain against the cold wind that blows through the forest. Enya pulls her cloak tighter around herself. She steps slowed by falling branches mixed with snow. The clerics often say that Yergander tests her people with wind and snow, but Enya knows she would never torment her like this. Yar. The Saintess sees the smoke of a campfire deep in the woods. Perhaps there is a place to rest. Enya walks towards it and finds the fire still burning, providing a rare source of warmth. She reaches out to it at once. The hides hanging around shows that it belongs to a hunter. Short shrubs surround a lone wooden house, but the owner is nowhere to be seen. Then one of the shrubs rustles. The tip of a metal bolt protrudes from it, pointing towards the campfire. Who's there? Oh my gosh. God. The Saintess just got shot. Enya turns around quickly, but not quick enough to avoid the bolt that strikes her right leg, soaking her thick clothing with blood. She raises her bell instinctively as she stumbles around from the pain. The attacker has emerged from the bushes, aiming his next bolt at the Saintess's heart. Whoosh. At the attacker falls as the bell rings, his body quickly covered in snow. Slowly, the small lump turns red. It was not the holy bell that did this. Enya gets closer and sees a crossbow bolt in the attacker's neck. A rough hand, small but strong, grabs Enya's shoulders and pulls her to one side. Yeah. Well, this is definitely an assassination attempt then. So yeah, the rocks definitely were as well. Someone's trying to kill all of the Herrig leadership? That's kind of crazy. But also, these models are just Silver Ash's soldiers, which is interesting. I don't think that's what they're supposed to be unless there's a traitor among them or something. Another bolt cuts through the air, taking down another attacker, but more of them continue to emerge from the forest. How many attackers are there? Holzchov? You know what's interesting when I search that up? A restaurant in Switzerland pops up. So, is it a curse? Is it an expletive that a restaurant's named after, or? Because, yeah, it looks like it's supposed to mean, like, yeah, it means airhead, bird brain, you know, that sort of thing. Interesting. It's not a real expletive, but... Holzchop bandits! How dare you commit murder at my camp while I'm away? Oh, snap. Not what I expected. A young huntress carrying a heavy crossbow that seems too big for her stands in front of Enya. She smells of herbs and cloud beast. She's a crazy cat lady. Doesn't seem that big of a crossbow. It seems like a pretty average crossbow. Stop daydreaming. Hero Silverash, what are you doing here? Never mind. Stay close to me. Are you gonna fight real people this time instead of strange creatures?
Target confirmed. They won't know what hit them.
I have to do something super quick. Be right back. All right. Frostadillo? What the heck? I love it though. Loses all defense and resistance and becomes unable to move for some time on colliding with high ground. High ground, huh?
words.
Although maybe I should have done... Yeah, well. What is this? For a short time after deployment, greatly increases index. Oh.
Everything is under control. Great mind, thy trampling of this hallowed ground shall beget bitter rue.
Standing by.
Frostillos again, in case you needed to know more.
Make your decision. Wait, for the snow shall bury this all.
Whose wings care not for whom they
Oh my
share.
gosh, they go on their backs? Like a little turtle. You're walking in a desert when all of a sudden you come across a tortoise. Or maybe it should be the tundra this time. You're walking in the tundra through the snow when you look down and you see a tortoise. Name that reference. Oh, I think I see the snow now. At least I see the borders of like those golden things. I think that's her attack
She is
border.
omnipresent.
So is that the snow? I don't know.
She cannot be
Oh, this
stopped.
isn't. This is the unlimited one. That's right. The snow spreads to the surrounding tiles after reaching 5 stacks. Spreads to a maximum of 20 tiles. Ground enemies on snow tiles take 20% attack as arch damage every second and inflict with cold after leaving. So no, it could go to 20 tiles. So I don't know how it works, but she's killing them. Let me tell you.
She cannot
Unless her
be
range is
stopped.
20. No. Well, the objective got frozen, so I guess it's over there now.
She is omnipresent.
I guess it's spread over there.
Mission accomplished.
Maybe it's because these maps are already white. Maybe it's hard to tell where the snow is because it's white on white. This is my home. Last I saw, they were going the opposite way. It's safe here, I'll wrap you up, and then you need to leave. Thank you, Don't talk and don't fidget, Silverash. Your wounds aren't that bad. There was some distance, and your thick clothes absorbed some of the impact. But the bolt has a hooked head. It'll hurt when I pull it out. I'll try to be steady. The young huntress snaps the arrow shaft and grabs the remaining part. She glances at the wounded woman, who simply nods, showing no sign of fear. The huntress takes a deep breath and slowly pulls the arrow. Even she shivers at the sensation of the hook grating against flesh. She does her best to keep her hands steady until the arrowhead is completely pulled out. Finally. Thank you very much. I'm not done yet. Hang in there a little longer. She takes out a packet of powdered medicine, lifts the edge of Enya's dress, and rubs it skillfully on the wound before bandaging it up. You can help, or you can yelp if it hurts. I won't laugh. I don't want to make you more nervous. It'll only hurt more if your hands are shaking. Huh. A slender snow-white cloud beast pokes its head out of the huntress's hood, hanging onto her braids with its claws and poking its wet nose around Enya's fur collar. Then it reaches out to sniff at the stranger's scent. Don't touch it. It doesn't like strangers. Before the huntress can finish, Enya's fingers has already reached the little cloud beast's chin. Simply touching its soft fur seems to bring warmth to her heart, even in the bitter cold. Get back in, the Rift Cloud Beast. You call it the Rift Cloud Beast? Come to think of it, I don't know your name yet, my hero. Joanna. I don't need to know your name, Silverash. Don't think for a moment that we're friends. Why? You've been good to me. And now you have... And how have your people treated me? Forget it. Nothing to do with you anyway. By you people, do you mean Clan Silverash? Or Enceodes? Not just him. My dad says the Silverashes have been obsessed with blaspheming Yaragander ever since Enceodes' father was clan leader. He poured asphalt on Yaragander's backbone and poison on Yaragander's tail. His greed led to his downfall. Enceodes hasn't learned his lesson. He's done even more to wreck Yaragander's peace. But his greatest sin is the hole he dug in Yaragander's flesh. This disaster is proof that Silverash has angered Yaragander. But Yarrig can't stay in the snowy mountains forever. Haven't industry and trade brought us better lives? Why would the kind Yaragander punish us just because we're living better lives? Better lives. You Silverashes sit by the warm fireside, eating the best food and drink the best wine. But who has to pay the price? Us, we do. Many beasts lived at the foot of the mountains when I was little. For 1,000 years they lived off the land, drank from the rivers, and went back to the forest to find berries and leaves. The Colin trains railroads divided the mountains and rivers, forcing the beasts to risk their lives crossing the railway. You even blame them when your trains run them over. The beasts were forced to move higher, but there isn't enough room there for large packs. They had to fight each other for space and food, but their numbers dwindled. Not to mention all the cloud beasts that are sensitive to noise. You have no idea how many died, and how I ended up taking in my Rift Cloud Beast. But the farmers by the mountains need the fertilizers and seeds that the trains bring, and sick people in the mountains need medicine. Where's the bountiful game that Yaragander once gifted us then? The beasts grow fewer each year. Even water from the springs is less sweet. My family made a living hunting in the mountains for generations, following the holy teachings of Yaragander, and we show our faith by sculpting statues in our image. Dad, myself, and my siblings. We've always prayed to Yaragander, always paid our respects. Why are we the ones who have to pay the price? Spooked by the sudden outburst, the Rift Cloud Beast leaps down from a trembling Joanna and goes over to Enya. Enya bends down and lifts it up, placing it back on Joanna's shoulder. Don't move or your wound will reopen. This is the first time I've heard about any of that. If you want to argue, go ahead, Silverash. No, I don't. I'm different from the others. I have to stay at home most of the time, and what I know about the land today comes mostly from the accounts of others. Sometimes I go out and experience things for myself, but it's not enough. Yavagander will never abandon any child of Yurig, I promise. Huh. You better promise yourself that you pull through whatever's going on. What was with those bandits anyway? I know all the hunters living in the mountain. I don't recognize any of those guys. I think they came for me. For you? Do you have enemies? It's a long story. If that's the case, you better stay put tonight. They won't give up so easily. My dad's friend has a shop in town, and my siblings have been helping out these past few days. I'll go get some medicine for him and get help to fight the bandits. No, don't. Why? Are you afraid to be on your own? I'm fast and strong. I can be back by tomorrow morning if I go down the mountain now. That's not what I'm worried about. Why? You Silverashes are such a bother. If you have something to say, just say it. If you can't fight, I have no choice but to get help from town. That's the deal. Wait, I can tell you. Enya hurriedly gets up, tugging at the sleeve of the huntress who is about to leave, causing her own cloak to fall off. The scientist? Actually, I'm sorry. Please, Your Holiness, punish me for my insolence. No, I'm not going to punish you. Please, just sit down. Enya tries to stop the huntress, but she quickly takes a step back, putting more distance between herself and Enya. She turns to leave, but then seems to remember something, and spins back around and bows reverentially to Enya, before finally leaving the room.
General Gulo. Could you knock on the Cheba door before barging in, Matterhorn boy?
Shebe. Disc door? Slice door? Is that what that's supposed to mean? I'm not sure. Also, I guess it's actually, at least in standard German, maybe it's SCH, so it's not actually Che, it's Shay, but Shibe? I don't know. Either way.
What are you doing here?
I was accompanying Lady Incia for a checkup. She suffered a car accident this morning, but fortunately she's unharmed. I was told you were here too, so I thought I should pay a visit. Are you alright?
Just a scratch, but... Wait, you said something happened to the young Silverash lady?
Lady Incia was delivering something to Sir Insudes when she suffered a head-on collision with another vehicle on the way to the Vinebead Court. It was fortunate that Madame Degenberger quickly arrived on the scene.
You said she was going to the Vinebead Court too. Strange, my master received a summons from the Vinebead Court this morning, saying there was a meeting and it was on the way there when we were struck by falling rocks. Did you hear anything from the Browntails?
No, not yet, at least. What's the matter with the Browntails?
No wonder Sir Arktosh was fuming when he left. I haven't seen him so angry in a long time. Listen, brother. I need you to do me a favor. Can you ask Sir Ensudes to go to the Browntail Manor at once? Sir Arktosh is even more hot-headed than I am. I'm afraid he might do something impetuous. Sir Ensudes is the only one who can stop him.
I see. I'll let him know immediately.
I suggest you get your head checked at the hospital, Arktosh. The symptoms of mild concussion are easy to miss. Don't try to change the subject. Answer me. Why is it that only Clan Silverash and mine were attacked, while you two Browntails were safe and sound at home? What do you know? Everything I know about what happened today came from you. More excuses. Even the servants of Silverash knew to show concern and tell me that Encia suffered too. What about you? You look like you couldn't care less. Like it's nothing more than a piece of fallen snow on the ground. Is this the Browntail stance? I apologize for my demeanor. All of Vierig has suffered in recent days. I ask for your understanding. Enough of this hypocrisy. We both know there's been gossip going around about the Browntail Witch. I never took it seriously. I couldn't care less what you did, as long as you did it for Yarg and Yargander. But now, when did Yargander teach you to stab your allies in the back, Rotatos? Watch your words, Arktosh. Do not disrespect Yargander, even if you intend to insult and provoke me. Stop dodging the question and answer. Was Clan Browntail involved in the attack on me and Encia? You're wasting your time. I've already told you multiple times. I know nothing about it, and I express my sympathies. If that's your final answer, then don't accuse me of going too far. What do you mean? Don't think I'm out of Peroshes. Just because you took Gulo out of action. Before I went out, I told my men when to show. Clan Browntail's estate will be thoroughly searched. I don't want this to go far. But I'm afraid, sir...
Seurus, I think is how her name's supposed to be pronounced.
I'm afraid Seurus and her children want to bear with me a little.
You dare?
You made me do this, Rotatos.
The door to the drawing room flies open without warning. Arktosh draws his sword immediately. The sharp-eyed Browntail guards raise their weapons too and stand in front of Rotatos.
I take it you've already discussed the incidents that occurred today. I came for the same reason, and I've reached certain conclusions. Please stand down.
Seeing that Arktosh has sheathed his sword, Rotatos raises a hand and her guards hesitantly back off.
Good timing, Ensudes. With the leaders of the clans of Perosh and Silverash both present, we can demand a thorough audit of Clan Browntail's documents. And cooperation from Clan Browntail into investigation.
Sorry, Arktosh, Arktosh, but I don't assent to the demand.
What?
Why would Rotatos want to get rid of us? Assassinating the heads of the other two clans at this moment would only cause even more chaos. Clan Pelrosh has the most warriors, while Clan Silverash runs Carlin trade.
Ratatos could not hope to keep the situation under control if both you and I both died in an accident. Meanwhile, retribution would be swift and harsh. Am I right?
Ratatos avoids Insidious' gaze and nods lightly.
That doesn't explain why Clan Browntail wasn't attacked.
Maybe a coincidence. Maybe some bad timing. Maybe the attackers had something planned for the Browntails too, and we just don't know about it.
Maybe they wanted you to turn on the Browntails. That's my thought.
You won't convince me with the talk of coincidences and CODs. Who would have done such a thing if not Ratatos?
This is not a question we can solve in a short time. Don't forget that there are plenty of people looking to take advantage of the chaos and take a piece of Yerrig for themselves. This assassination coincidence with the arrival of Victorian aid, the mastermind wants to keep us from working together.
The Victorians did this.
They are potential suspects, as is any foreign politician who attempts to intervene at this juncture. Therefore, I would like to maintain the status quo of our previous meeting. I will continue to handle all external affairs, including those involving Victoria. I will discover the truth for Clan Pale Roche, for the peace of the three clans, and for Incia.
I'll trust you. One last time. Huh. Don't you dare look smug, Ratatos. You got lucky today. You can thank Enceodes and Sirius. If it turns out you're behind all of this after all, you'll get what's coming to you.
The sturdy Ursus slams the table, then turns and leaves. Thank you for calming that maniac down, Insidious, but I'm exhausted. I'm sure you understand how tiring it is to deal with baseless accusations. If you suspect me and want to question me,
There's no need for that. Trust between the three clans has never been more important than now. I have no other urgent matters to attend to. I do have other urgent matters to attend to. I'll take my leave.
Pardon me for not seeing you out. The time zone, Luigi.
Incia wasn't hurt. You can rest easy. I was on the way. I was the one they were after. Obviously. The accident was very likely staged. They targeted your car without knowing who was inside. Something's not right. It's too forward. It's as though the people behind this want to make the point that they have no qualms about deploying extreme measures. They're trying to sow chaos and suspicion. The act itself is more important than the results. There is another possibility. Perhaps it's not me, Incia, or Arktos whom they're truly after. There will be trouble in the mountains. It's Enya they're after. If anything happens to the Sanctus at this point, it'll serve to affirm all the conspiracy theories and drag Yerrig further into the quagmire. I need you to protect Enya, Degenbrecher.
Can't believe we're fighting Victorians again. Victorians? All I see are strange snow beasts and turtles.
Inya set out a long time ago. I can't promise anything. You need to prepare for the worst.
I believe in Inya.
You believe. And you will not provide any of your basis for that belief to reassure me, like you usually do.
Correct. I believe.
Plus, like, the Dukes barely actually spent any resources on the war. They sat around for most of it until the very end. Conjoined lives. We put aside our differences and the conflicts of the past and walk hand in hand towards the same future. I do wonder if the Victorian angle's too easy, though. Could it be someone else? I don't know who. Don't tell me. Didn't I tell you not to bother me today? Who's... Sister, what are you doing here? Don't just stand there. Take a seat. What's the matter? Can't sleep? I thought I told Yucatan to keep a close eye on you. No, she shakes her head. I told Yucatan not to come with me. I wanted to talk to you one-on-one. Ratatos never thought she would see this expression on her sister, who is usually so cheerful and straightforward. Alright, but only for a little bit. Then you go back to bed. Acting like a little girl when you're supposed to be the mom already. I heard Arktos shouting in the drawing room today. Damn, so he did disturb you. I'll have his hairy head for this. No, it's not that. I heard what you were arguing about, and I know many bad things have been happening lately. Please, Rada, if you do know something, tell me. Bye, Yaragander. You shouldn't be worrying about these things right now, Cerberus. You'll have plenty to worry about once you take my job. But there's been trouble after trouble. Even I, shut up in my room, can tell that things are getting worse. I see unhappy faces outside the window every day, not to mention we haven't heard back anything from Monch. Yeah, Monch is like 60% dead. I have people searching for her. I'm sure she's fine. Hey, don't forget that she's one of the finest brown-tail warriors. I know. It's really you I'm worried about, Retta. I've never helped very much, but there was a time when I could at least stand by your side and give you my support. But now, you're facing all of this on your own. I wish you would talk to me more. There's no need to carry everything on your shoulders. Yucatan and I have your back no matter what. You think too much, my silly little sister. Are you really in such a hurry to take over for me? That's not what I promise you, Sayuris. I'll protect you, and Yucatan, and all of Clan Browntail. If that's the last thing I do, Yaragander be my witness. I still don't believe me, but you've got to believe in Yaragander, right? There's no need to go that far. Alright, then promise me you're going to bed now. Tomorrow will be a better day. This guy again.
You honor me with your invitation, Madam Browntail. I take it your thinking has changed then?
Cut the crap. Assassinating the members of Clan Silverash and Pale Roche. Driving a rift between the three clans. It's just how you intend to coerce me into working with you. I thought Victorian politicians were smarter than that. The man smiles nonchalantly.
I'm not sure how such a notion could have occurred to you, Madam Browntail. Assassinating the leadership of another country on their own soil, it would be tantamount to a declaration of war, if it could be proven. Are you sure you want to accuse Victoria of such crimes?
So this is why you people seem so smug about yourselves.
I'm not sure I understand your meaning. But since you've deigned to meet with me today, well, I'm very happy to listen. Is there anything I can help you with?
Go on, act smug. Your crude little plot worked, huh? The relationship between the Pale Roches and Browntails have broken down completely, and I've become the most suspicious one here. As for Enceades, he just spun his tale in about all three clans wanting stability to hoodwink that fool Arktosh. He knows full well that in the present state of Yerrig, should the leader of any of the three clans meet an accident, it would take little effort to demoralize the already disheartened people. Can someone contact Vina? I don't think Vina's just the Speaker of Parliament. If she even still is. I'm not sure what the term limit on that is. The Dukes have a lot of autonomous authority. So I doubt there's much she can do. If he learns of our meeting, he will not hesitate to join forces with the Pale Roches and attack me. Even if he knows full well I wouldn't promise you anything. After all, what Yerrig needs right now is a culprit, one to place all the blame on. In that event, it's entirely possible that Clan Browntail will be wiped off the map. I don't have much time left.
My sympathies, madam. I'm in full agreement with your assessment of the situation.
Do you intend to turn things around, then?
Let's get straight to the point. First, I want an absolute guarantee that you'll prioritize the safety of Clan Browntail and my people of the domain, no matter what happens.
Of course. We have long sympathized with the ordinary folk who have become marginalized by Clan Silverash. It is one of our goals for peaceful cooperation with Yerrig.
Yeah, say whatever you want. Second, all the trade policies currently in place will remain so when Clan Browntail takes over Carlin trade, and Victoria must not withdraw any assistance currently offered to Yerrig. Otherwise, we'll reserve the right to terminate our cooperation with immediate effect. Not something you want to happen.
No need to worry, madam. We are more than eager to cooperate with Yerrig, and would never dream of undermining this partnership. There will be much room for further cooperation once you become the sole representative of your nation.
Good. Taking over Carlin trade isn't something that can be accomplished overnight. We need to prepare. And the first order of business is to deal with Arktosh. I know that man, and he will come looking for trouble if he finds out Clan Browntail has been working with Victoria. In a sense, he's an even bigger problem than Enceades. That bloody fool.
Misc, regrettable. The decision is yours, Madam Browntail. How should we persuade Arktosh?
I will contact him again for one final meeting.
Oh.
There is an old Browntail manor at the foot of the mountains in the southwest, an area that is virtually uninhabited. I will send Arktosh a message telling him to meet me there tomorrow, where I will explain the truth. The time of the meeting is set at 7 p.m., 15 hours from now. I hope Victoria will demonstrate its good faith.
Of course. You will not be disappointed. We look forward to your persuasion of Clan Pelroche.
Come on, Ratados. Let this be a trick on Victoria. Dukes are just as evil as Ursus. Yeah, the Dukes suck. The mountain wind carries the snow, battering the hay-thatched roof. A few dry leaves are blown into the air, landing on the braids of the girl sitting on the rooftop. She picks it out and rubs it in her fingers. The rift cloud beast pokes its head out from behind the girl's shoulders, rubbing against her red cheeks. The rift cloud beast? I'm just clearing my head. You don't have to come out and be cold with me together. The little white creature, which has endured many harsh days and nights with Joanna, purrs gently. Thanks. I don't know how to face the scientist. She is the Vicar of Yaragander. I should love and honor her, but how could those things happen? Why must my family be punished? The girl sits quietly on the roof, rift cloud beast in her arms until the fine snowflakes cover her hair in white. The door leading to the backyard is pushed open. The visitor has added a few shallow footprints on the snow. Inya sees 3 scattered crossbows as she walks to her left and picks up one to examine it. It is smaller than the one that Joanna uses. Inya casts her gaze in front, and there are 3 targets standing a short distance away with a few bolts on them that have yet to be retrieved. And they start training at such a young age. There is a name on the stock. Does it belong to her siblings? Enya's attention is drawn to a bunch of sculptures scattered haphazardly on the ground at the other end of the yard. Their visage is a familiar one. Enya approaches the largest amongst them and holds it before her. The sculptor was obviously extremely skilled, Yaragander smiling gently upon her. This is just like the one we built at Lake Zilbenherza. I guess this is what they all think you look like. There are other sculptures lying by her feet, and Enya picks up one of them. This one is a little sleeker, the chisel marks on the face rougher, giving it a sense of harshness. Perhaps the sculptor had used too much force when sculpting the face and chiseled off a little too much. It's not right, is it? It doesn't look like Yaragander at all. The face needs to be a little thinner, and the body... Will you heed the plea of your humble handmaiden, Saintess? Enya, please. See, it looks better when the face is rounder. She carefully puts the 2 sculptures at different sizes back. In this bare, unfamiliar backyard, Enya puts her hands together and prays toward the statues of Yaragander, as the elders of Vinebead Court often do. She does not make any wish, she only hopes for a miracle. The sun is set, but the huntress sits still in the yard. She hurriedly gets up to bow when she sees Enya, but the latter lays a hand on her shoulder. Santist. No need for formalities, it's just the 2 of us. I would prefer if you would call me Enya. As you wish. After greeting Enya, the girl looks aside and falls quiet again. There are a lot of Yaragander sculptures in the backyard. Did you and your family make them yourselves? Nods in silence. They look a little different. Is it because people interpret the image of Yaragander depicted in the old books differently? My dad made the ones that look like her. I made the ones that don't. I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask. Why did you make all those sculptures? My family is a branch of Clan Paurosh that went into the mountains of Yaragander's orders. We've been hunters ever since. We believe all that lives in the mountains share Yaragander's soul, and we are all part of the eternal cycle of life living in her. In gratitude for the blessings of Yaragander, every member of our family must learn to sculpt the image of Yaragander once we are old enough to hunt alone. We also make leather jackets, bone sculptures, and accessories with our mark. Here, blessed hunter, are the whispers of the wind and the grass not her hymns? Are the creatures that walk and fly not she embodied? The cycle of life and death is a cycle of water and ice. There is neither beginning nor end. Speak of Yaragander's wisdom and love, and listen. Rely not on the signs and omens, but seek upon snow-covered peaks, and become one with her. Yes, this part feels different from the other parts of Yaragander. I always get stuck here. The details of the scriptures are not what matters the most. What's important is to constantly be mindful that Yaragander watches and listens to our words and deeds. You may not remember the complicated verses, but you're living, hunting, and sculpting in accordance with her teachings. Even as a saintess, I may never have truly understood the meaning of this passage if I hadn't met you. You're the one the most pious faithful I've ever met. Yaragander will protect your family. Really? Yes, I'm her chosen saintess, after all. She will appear when we need her most, no matter what hardships we face. sobbing. Tears roll down the young cheeks of the huntress, who always puts on a strong front, falling and melting the snow by their feet. Joanna, what's the matter? Can you tell me? I... Anya takes Joanna's trembling hands in hers. When I first learned to hunt, I was bitten by an infected beast and I got oropathy. Dad hunted every day and made those sculptures after coming back from the hunt, so that he could sell them in town to buy medicine for me, and he did it for years. Bitten by an animal and got oropathy, that's a new one. I guess their teeth or something were crystals? Active crystals? Or it was in their saliva? If that's possible? That's interesting. A few days ago, Dad's friends told me he was at the station the day that the catastrophe happened. If I didn't... Joanna. Why, Ergander? The grieving girl drops to the ground, curled up in a fetal position. Enya kneels by her side, trying to find words of consolation, but for all the scriptures she has memorized, none have an answer. After a brief hesitation, she begins patting the girl's back. There's a lump in her throat, even if Eternal Yaragander can stay silent. What could her saintess possibly do? Are you listening, Yar? Sitting by the window, the Rift Cloud beast gently growls with as much volume as it can muster and darts back into Joanna's hood. Joanna sniffles and wipes her tears with her palms. Someone's coming. I'll get the door. Young lady, how do I get to the nearest town? Are you lost? Do you see those lights? Follow the trail down the mountain and follow the lights whenever you come to the crossroads. It's getting dark and my eyesight is poor. I'll walk with you. No, I can't leave right now. You could spend the night here and head down once the sun rises. No, I shouldn't trouble you. I'll find a path down the mountain. What is it? Just an old man who got lost. You're quite far from town. Do people pass by here often? No, my family are the only ones who live here. We don't see many passers-by. In fact, you were the first. Look out. Yeah, I saw that coming.
If you're stumped, just leave the hardest task to me.
Yeah, frozen burden beasts. Also, the Victorian robots are back. Yay, I guess.
The situation is crystal clear.
Why did it just walk into the... What just happened?
Let's put an end to this as soon as possible. Let's put an end to this as soon as
All right.
possible.
Great minds think alike. As ice yields to gentle
Didn't
warmth
expect that.
embrace.
That all you got? Standing by.
Yato with Silver Ash's little thing is great.
Great minds think alike.
If he gets pushed, is he gonna fall in the hole? I guess he would. That's gonna be funny.
You disrupted my flutter rockets.
Make your decision. Fast. Make your decision. Fast.
Oh, there's no animation for it though. It just kills him.
Great
Sad.
minds. Thy trampling of this hallowed ground shall beget bitter ruin.
Standing by.
Make your decision. Fast.
Oh, I have to be left of it to get the skill, I see. So eventually the fast redeploy gets too expensive. I guess that's a way to balance it. They don't want you to spam the fast redeploy. What if I just bring multiple fast redeploys?
As ice yields to gentle warmth's embrace.
War. A word I've not heard in a long...
Hark! Ne'er hast thou questioned the road thou strayed upon.
Easy peasy. I wasn't supposed clear
Ow.
skies for Qingming, rain clouds for Guoyu. A flurry! Mission accomplished.
Back already, Gulo? You still have the gauze on your head. I told you to think before you act. You get back to the hospital right now and stay in bed. Master, I heard that you're going to meet with Retracing again at the Browntail's invitation. You can't go. What do you think, I'm afraid of her? That witch says she's gonna tell me the truth. I'm eager to see what she spews from that mouth of hers. But Master, the meeting is on Browntail turf. It's clearly a trap. Huh. You think I don't know? A pale roach never runs from a fight. Just because it's her turf don't mean a pale roach is helpless there. You know what? Seeing that gauze in your head is making me doubly mad. I don't care how mad you are, Master. I'm sitting right here at the door, not budging an inch until you change your mind. And what does any of that have to do with you? It's my own fault I got hurt and couldn't protect you. All I can do is stop you from putting yourself in danger. Duh. I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at those bloody browntails. Don't worry. I'll settle the score for you. I'll show 'em. Nobody messes with Clan Perosh. Get out of the way, brother. Master! Warriors, take General Gulo back to his room. Several warriors help Gulo up and help him walk back to his room. I'm not afraid of them, but I won't go unprepared. Fair fan. Prepare a few more cars, boys.
He's gonna... Is he gonna say that a second time? I guess I'll look up how it's pronounced. Watch him never say it ever again, though. Actually, I was pretty much on point. Okay. Dinner is ready, Madam Sirius. What about the matriarch? Will she not join us? The matriarch Ratados just left. She says not to worry about her. I remember the matriarch saying she had a meeting with Clan Palerush today, but it's so early. Did she go alone? We're not sure. Something doesn't feel right, Yucatan. Go after her. Alright. One moment, please, Madam Sirius and Master Yucatan. What is it this time? The matriarch left orders before she left. We are not to allow the two of you to leave home tonight. Under any circumstances. Scientists, get down. Drat. Who are these people? How dare they attempt to murder the scientists of Jan Yerrig's soil? Maybe they're not from Yerrig. They're dangerous. Don't worry, scientists. I'll protect you with my life. They won't get in so easily. Don't underestimate the hunters of Yerrig. The young huntress locks and loads her heavy crossbow, barely taking any time to aim at through the broken window before pulling the trigger. It is immediately followed by multiple screams. Hit! Careful. There are a lot of them. We can't just stay here. We need to get out. What do you... Calm down. Listen to me. Lying prone in the snow, the attacker gestures to those behind him to remain hidden. They learned their lesson the hard way. They slowly close in on the house, on guard against the crossbow bolts that can be fired from the window at any time with uncanny accuracy. They could see a shadow move behind the curtain, and the edges of the curtain sway. The attacker raises his crossbow. The poisoned bolt strikes the figure behind the curtain. He hears the sound of the body hitting the floor, then silence. Question is, again, it's weird that they're using Silver Ash Soldier models for these guys. It's kind of strange. Like, they have generic bandit models they could have used. There's obviously Victorian models that they could have used. And I don't know if that's supposed to mean, if that means that Silver Ash is trying to kill his sister, or if someone in the Silver Ashes is trying to do it. There's not many other, I mean, there's Gnosis, I guess. I haven't seen him in a bit. Hit. Not sure if she's down. Units 2, 3, and 4 hold position. Unit 1 with me. Approach with care. The intel says there are 2 of them. Of course, it could be a false flag, I guess, right? False flag operation. Could be disguised as these guys to sow confusion. Several figures sneak up to the house, breaking in once they have determined no sound coming from inside. What? This is...
A wooden sculpture.
A sculpture of Yergander lies on the ground, a crossbow bolt sticking out of its head. The assailants did not notice the delicate sound of machinery operating as they entered the room. They hear the ringing of a bell while their arms and legs go weak. 5 loaded crossbows and a massive net take aim at the invaders. Oh my gosh. How'd they set up that trap so quickly? They fell for it, just like you said. You'd better repent for damaging a sculpture of Yergander. Now run. Alpha report. The Pale Roach convoy has cleared the 3rd checkpoint. Confirmed target position, backseat of the lead car. Shall we engage? Affirmative. Wait, there's a change in the situation. The target stopped moving, no direct line of sight, can't see what's going on. Browntail warriors, what are they doing here? Stand by, I'm calling number 1. And these guys are specifically, explicitly Victorian, right? So I don't know. There might be multiple things happening here. Lowers the chance of getting a brown tail. I hate this. Look, maybe I still want to believe Hurtados is actually tricking the Victorians in this and not tricking Arktosh.
What's the meaning of this? Your matriarch told us to come meet her. They sent you to stop us.
Okay, the Browntail Guard is using the same model. Okay, that's interesting. That means it could actually not be Silver Ash people. It could be Browntail people, I guess.
The location of the meeting is just ahead, Sir Arktosh. This will only take a minute of your time. Please allow us to search your vehicles in the interest of safety. What a joke. You're afraid of a handful of boys and your people picked the location. Your people are cowards. The orders came from Matriarch Hurtados. We request your cooperation. Yeah, do what you want. I've got nothing to hide. No issues. You may proceed now, Sir Arktosh. Not so fast. You searched us now. We searched you. Search every nook and cranny from here to the Browntail Manor, the road, and everything around it. You'll find anybody suspicious, take 'em in.
Yes, sir. Report on the target's location, Alpha. Come in, Alpha. Alpha, can you hear me? Report. What's going on? Command, the target car has entered our surveillance zone and is approaching the final point of action. Should we move? When did he... Is there any movement from the target? No, the target hasn't exited the vehicle. I can't see inside from here. Stand by. Engage once you have a visual on the target. Bravo reporting. We have visual on what we believe to be an armed Yerrig patrol. Have you identified them? Unclear, possibly Pale Roche guards. Charlie reporting, we spotted Yerrig warriors too. They're searching nearby buildings. Our position may be compromised. Should we move on now? Negative. Stand by. We've been compromised. Engaging. They found us. We've been exposed. Repeat, we've been exposed. Permission for final action. Bloody hell. Affirmative. Also, why did, like, how are there so many Victorian soldiers in here again? Why does Yerrick just keep letting all these Victorian soldiers into their country? The north wind blows over the mountain road. The tusk beast hides among the rocks he bides. Take their bow and swing it low by the little wood window. Hit. The forest is the domain of the hunter. The young huntress takes Enyat into the forest, the mysterious assailants in hot pursuit. Their numbers are soon thinned by crossbow bolts that seem to come out of nowhere. There's at least one more. Where are you? The huntress knows that her last shot has revealed her position, while the enemy has withdrawn into the shadows. She hides behind a large tree, zeroing in on one little sound. Block load loose. Missed. Nothing personal. The young huntress is pushed to the ground by as her shot misses. The attacker picks up a bolt from the ground and aims it at her throat. But he never gets the chance to bring his raised hand down. It is frozen. A blurred silhouette appears from above the assailant, bringing the weight of 1,000 mountains down upon his head. The ground trembles and snow on the tree branches is scattered. Dagenbrecher. Plus, Silverash did send Dagenbrecher. Yeah, he did send Dagenbrecher to help find Inyas. So I don't think it's Silverash. Unless he's playing some crazy... I mean, he is Silverash. He could be playing some crazy 3D chess. 4D chess. He'll be a boss someday. He really could be a boss someday. I mean, his E2 upgrade voice line practically says as much. He's like, either we'll work together to conquer the world, or we'll have to face each other on the battlefield. Dagenbrecher catches the bolt flying towards her with one hand. God, she's so cool. Who are you? What do you want with the Saintess? Stop, Joanna. Dagenbrecher is a friend. Dagenbrecher. Joanna hesitantly removes the bolt from her crossbow as she looks up and down at Dagenbrecher. I've heard your name before. They say you're a strong warrior. But I've never seen a man beat into permafrost like that. What are you doing here, Dagenbrecher? Enceodes sent me. I apologize, but now is not the time to stick to the rules. How did he know I was in danger? This is not the only attack in recent days. There were attempts on the lives of the members of the clan Silver Ash and Pale Roach soon after you left the Vinebead Court. The three clans are on the brink of civil war. How could this be? These people. Only now did the trio have the time to take a look at the assailants, late assailants, more precisely. They are wearing Pale Roche armor. Okay. And are carrying standard issue Yerrick weapons. And this is definitely a false flag. Okay. Okay. Clan Pale Roach. That's impossible. Clan Pale Roach has always been loyal. They would never think of murdering the Saintess. But there has to be an explanation for these people. They must be in disguise. Someone is trying to frame the Pale Roaches. Let me see. There must be some gap in their disguise. Yes, look at this bolt. These people thought they could fool us wearing Pale Roach clothes, but
they've got very important thing wrong. Look, the bolts they're carrying are two-fletched, but the ones used by Pale Roach warriors are three-fletched, which are more suitable for battle than hunting. Dad told me that our family was the best, most loyal warriors of the Pale Roaches before we split from the clan. Our shooting skills were passed down from our ancestors who used them in war, mostly against the Silver Ashes. Illogical explanation. All ancient history now. The wars between the three clans, Pale Roach, Browntail, and Silver Ash, have long since come to an end, and your family became hunters under Yarrigander's kind guidance. Yes, by Yarrigander. It is not hard to guess who is impersonating Clan Pale Roach. The Victorians. Dagenbecker pulls a bolt from one of the Victorians' necks and examines it. Did you make this yourself? Yes, my dad taught me when I was little. The craftsmanship has been passed down my family from one generation to the next. From one generation to the next. The cut of the fletching, the shape of the point, even the etching on the shaft. These are all unique to Ursus. How is that possible? Dad said it's a mark of Yarrigander's faithful. I've seen arrows like these in the arenas of Kazimierz many times, used by those who claim to be master of the most authentic Ursine martial arts. A gimmick, no doubt. But the GCC also sponsors legitimate historians. I've read their papers and seen the artifacts they dug up. But we're all indigenous to Yarrig. We used to be part of Clan Pale Roach. What does Ursine have to do with Yarrig? A lot, apparently. Because Leto is also half Ursine. Maybe Yarrig people descend from Ursine peoples who migrated here at some point? Or at least Clan Pale Roach, I guess? They are mostly bears, it seems like. And yeah. Some brought flags, some brought drums, and some brought swords. 3 outsiders fought constantly, and their blood turned the rivers red, and she grieved. She went to the place of battle and said, "Sheath your weapons and let your hearts be joined, and I will bestow upon you the blessings of prosperity and protect you from ill." But the 3 were foolish and continued to fight even after they heard her words. So she cracked the heavens and split the clouds, and she brought forth a miracle, and the fighting was stopped. One of them wept, but how could we forget the hatred and the blood that was shed? And she wept as well, and her tears froze the enemy, becoming 3 eternally frozen peaks. What was that? A passage from the Yarrigander that is often overlooked. Now I think I understand. Joanna, I believe that your family, indeed all of Clan Pale Roach, originally came from Ursus. I think so too. Yes, but it's not just you. The Silver Ashes and Browntails came from elsewhere as well. As the 3 scriptures say, our 3 clans were outsiders who fought incessantly over resources until Yarrigander intervened. The Silver Ashes are cats, so I guess they are, and they have ties to the Duke of Castor already, so I guess they're Victorians. Where are the Browntails from? The Zaliks don't really have a nation. The 3 frozen peaks seem to refer literally to the 3 mountains surrounding Yarrig, but it in fact refers to the domains of the 3 clans, which she had demarcated. Kazimierz
That's probably the best bet, I would say, yeah. She will come again if the swords are not laid down. Several years ago, she manifested through me, averting what would have been the first civil war between the three clans in centuries. The hearts of the three clans must be joined in order to receive her protection. The first virtue that Yaragander taught us was forgiveness. We got him, master. The tall guards bring over several prisoners, bound with ropes. These guys are hiding in some abandoned houses, clearly up to no good. They had binoculars and communication equipment on them, Victorians by the looks of it. Ah, just as I thought. Rotatos is plotting the Victorians to kill me. We'll take these men to... No. We'll do it in front of the Vinebeat Court and with all three clans present, and we'll see what she has to say for herself. Who's there? We caught the remaining Victorian spies, Sir Arktosh. We are glad to see you are unharmed. What? What do you mean? Matriarch Rotatos' orders were to protect you, Sir Arktosh. We had been following you and stopped these men when they attempted to make a move against you. The warriors put their bound prisoners down. What in the name of Yaragander? Where is Rotatos? We don't know. She said she would try to draw out the spies that Victoria has deployed around here. When they revealed themselves, we can... The old Browntail manor explodes, its walls torn apart like cardboard. Glass and wood fragments fly in all directions. As flames consume the traces of this once sumptuous history, the boiling smoke distorts the night air. The pale roach warriors stand transfixed, eyes wide. Behind the brown car, some warriors caught by the blast now stagger as they try to help each other up. The echoes of the explosion gradually disperse, leaving the crackle of wood and distant sirens ever clearer in the night. A charred jacket drifts down in front of Arktosh. This is... Rotatos. What in the hell have you done?
Mission accomplished.
I was about to say.
One more thing, though. Logistics gave me far too much tea and cake. Would everyone like to help me lighten the load?
So... I thought maybe those men who stopped Arktosh at the car and who just showed up there to help were actually sent by Yucatan, and that what was going to happen was that Arktosh was in too deep, and so she would be ousted, and then her sister would take over, and that would preserve Clan Browntail by showing like, okay, not every Clan Browntail was a traitor. But now it seems that maybe in a similar vein, but not, it wasn't Yucatan who sent them, but Rotatos set it up to preserve Clan Browntail, but to do that, she knew she had to get rid of her own self because no one trusted her, right? So her sister will take charge, and Clan Browntail will be saved. Snow retention system prevents avalanches in the area. I think I'd rather just have more avalanches, really. A pilgrimage, a knell. As the others weep, it is time for you to depart. The snow never waits, nor is it ever in a hurry. A layer of snow has formed on the withered branch. The rift cloud beast climbs to its tip, squinting in an impression of scouting. The saintess sighs, turning around to look behind her. The huntress, following her, pauses, her face slightly red from the wind. Joanna, you don't need to follow me. I'm very grateful for all that you've done. As I told you, though, the pilgrimage must be completed alone. Strictly speaking, I shouldn't even be talking to you. I know. I'm not following you. I'm not your guard or your servant. I just happen to be traveling in the same direction. Don't worry. I won't talk to you. If anyone sees us, I'll pretend I don't know you. I won't let danger strike you again. I'll just follow behind. Do you know where I'm going? Wherever you're going, I'm going. That's all I need to know. But I'm looking for Yaragander. What? She's so cute. I do like her design. Looking for her? Did she disappear? I don't know, but disaster will strike Yerrig again if she doesn't return. People will lose their lives, and even more will lose their faith. I must return to the Vinebead Court and consult the tomes. The others must not know for now. Then I'll follow you. Don't worry. If anyone's on your tail, I'll chase them away for you. Purr. I think the Rift Cloud Beast just saw something. In the direction that the Rift Cloud Beast is looking, the trail to the Vinebead Court is filled with people dressed in solemn colors. Looks like someone very important has just passed away. Who could it be? Inya shakes her head. She cannot help but feel a shiver down her spine. Thick through her clothes are you alright, Inya? We'll go slowly around the crowd. So she's, I guess, cancelled the pilgrimage, technically, secretly. Dark clouds hang low, almost touching the temple's eaves. It is a cold day even by Yerrick standards, and the north wind seems to penetrate the eyes and spines of the mourners. Family members and clerics gather in a courtyard with their heads bowed. The people of the Browntail domain have gathered outside to honor and grieve their matriarch who protected Yerrig with her life. Snow falls upon the black umbrellas. One of the Browntail nobles gives one of his hands a little shake and sighs on the snow as the snow pours down. So, the matriarch's body. They never found it. The fire was too big. They turned over every inch of whatever is left, but found nothing. I heard they had to put her usual attire in the coffin along with some ashes gathered from the scene. Nothing more. How sad to think that one as bright as the matriarch would... Well, okay, if they didn't find the body, I mean... she could actually still be alive. Faked her death. Fled to Rhodes Island. Madam Seurus. I apologize, I spoke out of turn. Seurus does not answer. She walks to the center of the courtyard, waiting for her sister, who had been by her side for as long as she could remember. Chimes tremble in the melody of the flutes. The clerics put their hands together and chant Yarrigander's hymn, and people place their hands upon their hearts in prayer to the song. Yarrigander, have mercy, take her with you. 6 members of Clan Browntail's main branch carry a heavy, non-moo wood coffin up the muddy road. Yucatan at the head of the procession. I guess non-moo is a type of tree or something? Yeah, a tree from China. They carefully lay the coffin down on a table in the front of the new brown tail matriarch. Yucatan walks to his life, the grief on his face contrasting with Cyrus's calm expression. Yucatan. Rosai. Thank you. The hymn draws to a close. All is quiet and all eyes fall on Seurus. For the first time, she understands the mask that Rotatos was forced to wear, the weight of responsibility which crushes those unworthy of it. Thank you for being here to honor the memory of Rotatos Browntail. She was my sister, staunch guardian of Clan Browntail and faithful child to Yarrigander. Her wisdom gave her courage. She told me that she would protect me and everything here, and she always believed in a better tomorrow for Yarrig, even in the most troubling times. All her life, she carried out the task that our grandfather entrusted to her, giving everything to Clan Browntail even in her final moments. I have lost someone very dear to me. It's only today that I realized the weight of that burden that she carried, but I will never have the chance to tell her. I know you will remember her face, her voice, her sacrifice, and her deep love for Yarrig, for Clan Browntail, and for her family. And you will remember, as I do, who took her from us, leaving behind wounds that can never fully heal. A life so short and bright as dawn shall walk with her in eternity. By Yarrigander. By Yarrigander, answers the crowd, following Seurus's lead as they kneel and pay respect to their departed. Even in times like these, when all is swept up in calamity, Yarrigander will continue to bring peace and tranquility to the people of Yarrig. 2 figures emerge from the crowd as those in attendance stand back up. It is Arktosh and Matterhorn approaching the coffin with white flowers in hand. My condolences, Sirius. Rotatos died because of me. I'll never forgive it. Thank you, Arktosh. This is a painful lesson to both our clans, to recognize who our true enemies are. Aye. Matriarch Cyrus. Sir Ansudes expresses his regret for not being able to attend the funeral, and sends his apologies and condolences. He will pay a visit to Brown Tail Manor personally when the time is right. Please take care, Matriarch Cyrus.
He's so busy he can't even come to the funeral. Thank you, I understand. Clan Brownchill recognizes the work that NCODs has done for Yerrig. Let us continue the ceremony. I believe that we have matters to discuss. The crowd departs. The empty coffin is buried on Browntail land, next to the grandfather who loved her so dearly. With lips pressed together, Cyrus looks to the two men before her. Both look slightly angry. I am simply reiterating the decision on the last Tri-Clan Council, Sir Arktosh. All external affairs shall be handled by Sir NCODs and of Clan Silver Ash, including matters associated with Victoria. Is this why you had the nerve to demand the Victorian spies? The murder of the Browntail matriarch is no small affair. I won't allow the Silver Ashes to interrogate them on their own. Master Matterhorn, it was the matriarch of Clan Browntail who was assassinated. I believe Clan Browntail should have full authority on this matter. Is NCODs not pleased with this arrangement? Of course not. However, it is a matter of principle to defer to the tradition of Tri-Clan Council. There is formal and rational justification for allowing Clan Silverash to handle the spies. We've deferred with Silverash. Enough already, Matterhorn. You people have given us nothing but excuse when it comes to negotiating with the Victorians. And now, these people have conducted terror attacks in broad daylight. How about we invite NCODs to explain his attitude towards the Victorians and what he's planning to Cyrus's face, and then we can talk about the spies. Kindly refrain from baseless speculation, Sir Arktosh. I have already shown considerable restraint. You and Matriarch Ratatos were not the only ones to be attacked. Lady Encia also narrowly escaped with her life. I would like nothing more than to get my hands on the assassins personally. Well, if that's true, then this will be easy enough. We'll put the Victorians on trial in front of all of Yerrick, and then we let the Clan Browntail have their way with them. Let all of Terra know that Yerrick shows no mercy to our enemies. Too reckless. We already interrogated them. They were awfully tight-lipped. I doubt a public trial would achieve anything. Instead, I'm worried they may see that as an opportunity to get a rise out of the people. It's not a risk we can take with all the unrest in Yerrick right now. If they had the guts to do so, just cut out their tongues. We should have dragged them out and spilled their blood for Ratatos at the funeral. Arktosh, no one wants vengeance for my sister more than I do, but we can't get carried away while there is still hope of actually coaxing some information from them. Matriarch Cyrus is right. This is a matter for... This servant showed up. He's using a priest model, but that did remind me, you know who delivered all the messages? And would know where the Saintess would be on her pilgrimage? The Vinebead Court. I wonder if they're the traitors.
someone in there maybe is trying to get rid of the clans, and I guess the Saintess. I don't know, maybe. Please excuse the interruption. A cleric from the Vinebeat Court has something to discuss. The last envoy from the Vinebeat Court almost got Arktosh and Inincia killed. Yeah, exactly. Like, someone gave, like, who told that priest to, like, set up that meeting, you know? You know? Suspicious, suspicious is all I'm saying. Hello. Welcome in, everyone. Thanks for the raid. We're like, what, halfway-ish through, retracing our steps. How do I know you are who you say you are? I guess it could have been a fake priest, too. That's always a possibility, I suppose. Haven't actually read it yet because you want to catch up on the main story? That's fair. Glad to see people reading something of the story, at least. There's no need to be concerned. Sir Arktosh knows me. He's right. This is Father Frey of the Vinebeat Court. Alright then, what is it you want, Father? I'm here for the Victorian spies. The position of the Vinebeat Court is that this is an extremely delicate issue. There will be considerable criticisms and unrest, no matter which of the three clans take charge. Therefore, the spies should be placed in the custody of the court. We shall arrange interrogations of which you will be informed, in which you will have the opportunity to participate. I object. Why delay things when we're going to kill them anyway? The Vinebeat Court can't do this. The Tri-Clan Council has already decided that Clan Silver Ash will handle Victorian affairs. Need I remind you that the Tri-Clan Council also agreed to return temporal power to the court. The Saintess is on her pilgrimage right now. The Vinebeat Court cannot decide on her behalf. It is interesting that you would mention the Saintess now, when Serencides has always been at odds with us. Gonna dash, have fun. Thanks for the raid and the follow. Yeah, so the priesthood is already trying to like take back their power that they don't technically have right now. because she's supposed to be on a pilgrimage.
All Yerrig knows the Saintess and the Vinebead Court has always been of one mind. The scriptures speak testament to this. The Vinebead Court has often acted on behalf of the Saintess in her absence. Tell Sir Insudes he should not presume to take all power for himself. Father,
calm down, Matterhorn. Clan Browntail accedes to the request. You can send your people tomorrow, Father, and we will hand the spies over to the Vinebead Court.
Cyrus!
I know your concerns, but it's more important than ever to put aside the conflicts between the three clans. It would be great to have Vinebead Court mediate.
Thank you for your wisdom, Matriarch. The Vinebead Court prays for Clan Browntail. By Yerrigander.
Cyrus bows to the Vinebead Court envoy. It is past noon and the funeral procession begins to disperse. A man sitting in a car parked a little bit away witnesses the scene and then draws the curtains over the window.
Looks like someone's getting impatient. There has been a lot of movement in the Vinebead Court ever since the Saintess's departure.
Plus, like, remember when Pramanex called Enceades to the temple and told him she was going on a pilgrimage, and he was like, "Is that the church's? Is that the court's decision?" And she's like, "No, it's mine." But it technically wasn't her decision because the new guy that became the Great Elder, like, hinted at that's what she should do. So, like, yeah, no, that's definitely that new guy. That new guy's up to something. And also the Great Elder previously was poisoned? Wasn't that what happened? So, this new Great Elder. Can you nom the feline with consent? I think the new Great Elder's a traitor, yeah. What's my opinion on the 13th Soy? I don't have one. I don't. I have to see what they say about that. They might explain it based on, like, maybe what happens at the end of that storyline. Because if they're confronting the Soy, then maybe it makes its own final proxy or something. I don't know. That's just my, like, possible hypothesis on that. I was surprised that Ratados was willing to go this far. Using herself as bait to draw out the Victorian spies. An impressive performance has brought the actions of Victoria into the daylight. And if the Victorians are trying to instigate a war between her and the other clans, this is also the most effective way to cleanse any suspicion from Clan Browntail. But it's not enough. We must make good use of the valuable time that Ratados brought us. Then why did you show up? Then why didn't you show up at her funeral? I wanted to avoid direct conflict with the other clan leaders, especially in public. And how's Inya? Her injuries were minor. All the Victorian assassins are dead. Inya says she has a plan to carry out in secret. She told me to come back once we cleaned up. All the people know that the Sanctus is currently on her pilgrimage. All the Victorians know that their assassination attempt failed. You have wiped out all the traces from the mountains. It's certainly true that the presence of the legendary Black Knight would not be conducive to secrecy. That's what I thought as well. Not a bad plan. I also need people I can trust by my side for what is to come. Our real troubles have only just begun. You hope it's not part of the original story? I don't know where it'd come from then. Like, it might not show up in the game, in this game, but it might be set up. I don't know. The child. Well, that's not a sibling then, that's a child. And Theodes takes out an envelope and hands it down to Degenbrecher. Inside is a thick stack of agreements and a letter written in Victorian. Read it. A letter from whom? You could call it a letter or a declaration of war. To the chairman of Carlin Trade, the son of my kinswoman, Elizabeth. Dear and Theodes Silverash, I hope this letter finds you well. It has been more than a decade since we met at the banquet. Perhaps you recalled our conversations as I did. When you heard about recent events in Victoria, you foretold the conflicts that I was personally involved in. And you have earned the right to sit at the table with Victoria as equals. But do not forget that every step you take is on a path that Victoria wants to see taken, on one which she has paved for you. Victoria's position remains the same after the catastrophe. We support Yerrig's development and respect Yerrig's faith, and I believe that Clans Silverash and Yerrig have never needed more help than now. I will offer that help. Based on the current partnership with Carlin Trade, I will accept the following proposal. A special office jointly created, funded, and managed by both sides established a foundation with its location in the city center. The city center. Why doesn't this city have a name? The one time they don't constantly say the name of a city. Victoria will double down on existing investment in the form of equipment and interest-free loans, and share more industrial technologies to support the future development of Yerrig. All Yerrig needs to do is open its doors to Victorian mining efforts, including but not limited to Oranginium, repaying the loans in kind. Carlin Trade will not need to provide any cash. After all, there are many places where it can be put to good use. Considering present circumstances in Yerrig, I would believe this to be a fair sign of good faith. The associated contracts have already been drafted and enclosed, ready for your review and signature. I will be happy to meet with you should you wish to discuss the details. I look forward to the links that the Castor bloodline can build between us, and I am curious as to whether Yerrig has become what you wanted it to be. Is Yerrig over the colossal vein? Or is the vein too far west? Looking. It's way far west, never mind. Way further west. What a great deal, yeah.
You gotta love when they're like, this is the deal I'm willing to accept for you. No negotiation required. It's pre-negotiated. The Doctor's bloodline runs through the veins of the 13th Slave. That does beg the question if Fahrenmutts can reproduce. Because they're not humans, so I don't know. I don't know how they work. Although Changyu made himself a human, so I guess... I don't know. I don't know. Maybe... I doubt E.E. Erickson looked into Fahrenmutt reproduction. But maybe he did. Maybe without being in the book. A lonely winter's night, even as those who could be trusted are separated. She sets out on her journey with her brave heart as companion. Try out skill 3s now. Attack range expands, immediately lures enemies within attack range to the closest reachable ground near her, increasing snowfall speed, attack, and attack speed ignores resistance, deals damage.
Victory belongs to the faithful.
Castle King, attack range expands. Removes invisibility. Does inflicts fragile on enemies in a straight line. Gets some DP. On first skill activation, swaps the DP cost of operators with the highest cost with the lowest deployment in the deployment waiting zone. Eye of Blizzard is deployable.
They shall learn whom they face.
Swap a robot with Mudrock. Why Mudrock? Oh, I was just wondering if you're going to see Science Station again. December 7th. Still December 7th. 33 hours before the Era catastrophe. Okay. Hello, how are my polls? My polls are great. I got Silver Ash and Pramanex on in the first 40, I think. Yeragander has blessed me. Oops. Instruments, check. Terminal battery, check. Pen and paper, check. Coffee, check. It's an all-nighter time. This streamer's insanely lucky or unlucky. Yep.
Whoa. A rustling sound coming from a corner which gives Elena a fright. Only then does she realize that she is not the only person in the observation room. A human figure crawls out of the pile of waste paper by the instruments. Oh, it's you, Elena. I thought some great scientist was pulling an all-nighter in the effort to win the Max Prize. Max Prize, named after the great president, Mark Max? Carolyn, you remember me? Of course I remember. The rising star of the energy section, the youngest researcher ever to join our ranks. I'm flattered. I thought you had already left. The schedule said I was supposed to be the one on observation duty today. Yeah, well, the schedule's never meant anything. I wouldn't have been sleeping here for 2 straight weeks if it did. No wonder I've hardly seen you ever since I came back to the station. Or came to the station. Must be tough. How does it feel to be back? You mean coming back to Rhinelab? You were the first person I thought of when they started recruiting for the observation station project, but I thought you would turn it down. Honestly, it wasn't an easy decision. At the end of the day, though, the company gave me a valuable opportunity. Based on the achievements of Rhinelab itself besides, the achievements of Rhinelab itself have never been in question. I still think my time at Rhinelab was the closest I've ever been to achieving my dreams. And I have to admit, even Ferdinand was a great researcher, if nothing else.
He's a great researcher. Anything else, though, can't be said.
Indeed. He has a mind for physics, so let him do what he does best. You know, he stopped messing with other researchers since he got out of prison, and he's been spending all his time on research. I think there's going to be a new director of energy before long. Maybe she's standing in front of me now. No. You've got to be kidding me. I just wanted to get a closer look.
The Starpod. Elena looks up at the sky and sees the obscured by snow, though the observations cleared through. I can't read that sentence at all. Elena looks up and sees the sky obscured by snow through the observation's clear dome. She hates this feeling, just like she hates her family's backwards traditions and beliefs, all the things in her way that have nothing to do with science itself. She believes that science should be pure, ever advancing, solving questions about terror one at a time. This observation station is an invaluable opportunity. I only want to focus on my research, maybe push a little further than the boundaries of existing knowledge if I can. Boundaries, huh? This is the closest place there is. Say, have you heard the legend of Yerrig? Legend? What legend? This land has not suffered a catastrophe for 1,000 years thanks to the protection of their god. While every country once attributed unusual phenomena to the gods, Yerrig just held on to its tradition longer because of its isolation. Yet it is indeed true that Yerrig has not suffered a catastrophe for 1,000 years. It's certainly unusual, but there must be a reason. Maybe the high elevation makes it difficult for Orangenium particles to converge, or... a Fahrenheit? Huh? Come on, I'm being serious. I know there are legends about the Fahrenheits, ancient beings the size of mountains, that turn into mountains and rivers after death. First off, there are no confirmed accounts proving the existence of Fahrenheits,
Besides, if these things did exist, where did they find the energy to sustain their biological activities?
Now we're asking the questions.
Why bring this up anyway? Just something that occurred to me while we were chatting. Well, that's enough gabbing. You can rest. I'll take over observations for the night. Really? But you've done a bunch of night shifts in a row. Yeah, it's not like my circadian rhythm can get any more messed up, and chatting with you woke me up. If I recall correctly, there are still some bugs to iron out with the power supply to the high-energy particle beam. Wow, you know that? Get some rest and put that brain of yours to better use. Well, I guess I'll take you up on your offer. Thank you so much. I'll buy you some fins and chips from that Victorian restaurant that just opened at the foot of the mountain when you have time. Please don't. No Victorian wants to have to enjoy authentic Victorian cuisine in a foreign land. Heh, Yerrick cheese fondue then. That sounds great.
So she's a Victorian. Castor probably was like,
you gotta do this for your country, Carolyn. You wouldn't want anything like your family back home being hurt or something. It is another deep and quiet night in Yerrick. The ancient land slumbers and lamps give away to stars. The sleeping snowy mountains may seem wondrous to the uninitiated, even. Though most who live on this land have gotten used to the sight. If you look up at the sky on a night like this, a shooting star? What's that? Both her eyes and the instrument capture the strange light that cuts across the night sky, like a sign from the heavens. Does Terra even have shooting stars? Like, does the Starpod prevent meteors from even reaching the planet? That's interesting. It appears that Carolyn was an accomplished, intelligent young researcher with a bright future. This project is very important to both Rhinelab and Columbia. The recruiting process was extremely selective. We have yet to find any irregularities in her records and communication logs. She was originally from Victoria. I was unable to provide any private information. That would be a violation of Rhinelab's privacy policy and basic human rights. We can only provide information about her time at Rhinelab unless your government officially presses charges of espionage. Of course, I was just asking. Her application material was very comprehensive, with every shift in fieldwork experience documented meticulously. Here it seems she even requested a field survey task for herself, collecting information about Yerrick's geography concurrently with her scientific research. She has been a diligent researcher, highly rated at Rhinelab, and a model student when she was at school. Such scientists are not usually involved in the kind of trouble that we currently face. Yet at this point, we have no information or clues as to whereabouts of Carolyn. Believe it or not, we are even more eager to find Carolyn than you are. There are many things at stake. Rhinelab's reputation, the security of the research data, potential breach of our management systems, the mutual trust and partnership between us, and Yerrick's development. Are you speaking as a member of the Scientific Ethics Consensus Committee? We gotta, abbreviate that at some point. The SECC? Come on. It's a pretty good abbreviation. Please don't misunderstand. Though it might sound a little condescending, I have the highest respect for what Carlin Trade is doing. After all, the courage to reach beyond one's comfort zone is the most important quality in a scientist.
Not just in scientists. There is a saying in Yerrig, black burden beasts are bad burden beasts. They jump their fences and run into the snowfields. Herders who go into the fields following their tracks never return.
They die?
That's what going into the snowfields and never return usually means in Yerrig.
One by one, pages are reviewed and placed on the table. Carolyn's notes and actions turn into a tiny pile of papers.
But where did the black burden beasts go?
It's the same question in the end. Perhaps they led the herders into the mountains, getting lost in the forests and freezing to death at night. Another page is read and placed on the table.
Or perhaps...
Gnosis puts the last page down. White upon white like snowflakes falling on frozen cliffs.
They simply found a new source of water. A new haven. Can you at least tell me where exactly she carried out her fieldwork?
I can't. The observation log was badly corrupted. I can't recover the original data from the port. Stacks of documents and mugs with dried coffee stains sit quietly on the table. An error tone signifies failure of the data restoration, causing their hearts to sink once more. There are ID records of all entries and exits. No message left behind in the dorms or the labs. The main security camera malfunctioned, while the two to the sides of the lab didn't capture anything. It seems like too much of a coincidence. Could Carolyn really have... No. Everyone else might assume she's a spy, but I can't let bias cloud my judgment. I already requested access permissions from Director Milsys to get to the bottom of things. Knock knock. Who's been up all night? Director Milsys. Surprised to see me. I hear you haven't been back to the dorms for 2 straight nights. Are you still searching for the data that disappeared? Yes. There's little doubt that the observation logs are altered, although we're not sure who did it or why. There is reason to believe that the overwritten data could hold a crucial clue. But... Never mind. I brought you a little snacky. Wait, can't work on an empty stomach after all. Thank you. What is this? You've never had it. Yerrig cheese pastries with sugar frosting and berry jam. It was all the rage at the station a while back. That sounds good. I heard people talking about it and had planned on trying them out the next time I went down the mountain for fondue, but I've been so busy investigating special energy sources unique to Yerrig. Elena picks up a pastry. It's dried up on the outside, but the cheese and jam inside remains moist after being heated. The sound of running water ceases, and Milsys sits down by her side with 2 clean mugs in hand. Mind if I sip a cup of joe with you? Not at all. Fresh coffee fills the mugs, drenching the air in its aroma. The sound of machines operating is clearly audible at this late hour. A massive window on the wall displays the stars in Yerrig's night sky, deep and boundless as always. The atmosphere in the room relaxes. Elena lifts her mug after a moment of hesitation. Midnight coffee in the lab. Brings back memories. You used to stay up late too? Who doesn't in our line of work? Even when I was a student, I felt like I had more coffee than blood in the veins of our finals. Looks like everyone's been there before. Working at night's more efficient after all. Yes, night is quiet. It makes it easier to focus. I used to write one paper while dictating the summary of another using an audio recorder when I was really busy.
That's impressive and insane. That way I get to make progress on both at the same time. Crazy when I think about back to it. Oh yeah, audio recorder. Huh? Audio? Where are you going? Surveillance audio recordings. Surveillance camera credentials. The time is 3:19 a.m. There. Didn't you say the cameras didn't capture what was happening at the lab table? Yes, but it might have captured some sound from the equipment. Listen to this. A lot of instruments operating. This ticking sound should be the audio sensor. The frequency that plays back is directly connected to graphing. We can use this frequency to recreate... Excuse me. Need a pen and paper? Here you go. Oh, thanks. The pen tip rubs against paper. The time they spend around the instruments have made researchers intimately familiar with data. She enters the numbers that she copied down onto the computer then. Seismograph? There. This is the hidden data. Let me take a look, see... Looks like a small earthquake occurred on Mount Carmel the morning of the day... the morning of the day before the catastrophe. No, not an earthquake. It was an impact of some kind. As if something fell from the sky into the mountains of Yerrig. And then came Yerrig's first catastrophe. Outside the wide windows of the observation station, the mountains of Yerrig seemed to reflect a translucent blue under the moon. It was Anchorfall. Did Carolyn look for this extraterrestrial object? But why would she do it all on her own? She's never abandoned her post like this. She must have found something. We might be able to find her if we figure out where that thing fell, which we can calculate from the wave frequency of the sound impact. Director Milsey's, The Vinebead Court isn't about to investigate on our behalf. Strictly speaking, we shouldn't get more involved in any of this stuff. The most we can do is report to component control. But Caroline might be in danger. You know that's not your job. You're not exactly close to Caroline, bluntly. Whatever happens to her is none of your business. Milsey's finishes her cold coffee in silence. Frowning at the bitter taste, she takes a piece of pastry and puts it in her mouth, speaking as she chews. Right. Sometimes I kind of think the most important quality of a scientist is courage. Maybe even recklessness. You're sharp, kiddo. Got a knack for finding rhythm in music. Makes for a good dancer. I wouldn't want to tie you up. Gotta let you move around free. You mean... This conversation never happened. Nobody tried to talk you out of it. Nobody told you what you can or can't do. As for this late night snack, you took it from the shared fridge yourself, didn't you? And I don't think a meteor could get through, right? If things can't get out. I think Starpod is supposed to be impermeable, which means that this thing fell from somewhere else. A chunk of oranginium?
Make certain my claws don't scratch you.
Maybe if the Victorians launched oranginium? Maybe the priestess is goofing around again? Maybe it was an anchor? Part of the law? I don't think... Only one thing came from the law. I don't think the law crashed afterwards. Looks like we have to deploy operators in the avalanche area. I mean, we don't have to. Don't worry, Doctor. All you need to do is defend the area and prevent enemies from entering.
Prepare yourselves. The battlefield might get a little crazy once I make my move.
I don't have to do that. I guess I will, though.
Everything is under control.
Oh gosh, drones. Cavern snows or cave snow sprite. Can land on deployable high ground where it becomes ranged. What?
Great minds think alike.
Okay, this is awkward, but I'm the only one who knows how to...
As ice yields to gentle warmth's embrace.
So when the first operator is deployed while Castle King is active, Eye of Blizzard deploys on the operator's location and attacks alongside Silver Ash in a straight line. Interesting. Why is she... I guess she was the castle one, that's why. How many can sit on a ranged tile?
Let's put an end to this as soon as possible.
So that goes... Yeah, okay, so that's the range there.
I knew you'd come
Interesting.
straight to me, leader.
Apparently the answer is like 4 or 5, I guess.
Right.
Nope, there can be more. Unless one died. Oh, they're lifting up and coming back down.
Make your decision. Thy trampling of this hallowed ground shall beget bitter ruin.
I knew you'd come apple pie with...
What a ruckus.
Mission accomplished.
You've been tampering with the locks again. You won't give up, will you? Unfortunately, the area that the search parties are looking is at least 5 kilometers from here. Don't expect them to hear your distress signal. Carolyn kidnapped her? That's crazy.
At least eat something. Malnutrition during the recovery process will increase the time needed for bones to mend by 20%, and the chance of complications by 35%. It's not my intention to hurt you, or leave you out an outstanding warrior with a permanent disability. Cut the crap. I warn you, you'd better kill me now. I suppose that's an option. As I said, however, I have no intention of bringing harm to Yurik, and I certainly feel the need to take innocent Yurik lives. Besides, it was a miracle that we survived that avalanche at all. It was, in your words, Yaragander's protection, right? Shouldn't this be a sign to a faithful follower of Yaragander to value her own life? No intention to bring harm to Yaragander. You've been spying for the Victorians and stealing Yarik's military secrets. Such an unfair accusation. Do you really think a few battleships constitute Yarik's most important secret? You speak of your god's blessing all the time, but have you really thought about what your god is? She's just into researching Fahrenmuts? Is that what this is all about? What are you talking about? Yaragander is not to be questioned or doubted. That didn't resonate? Well, I guess the only reason I'm talking to you about this is because there's nothing to do here but pass the time. Oh well, doesn't matter anyway. If you want to pass the time, I've got something to ask you. How did a Victorian spy work for Rhinelab for so long? Why are you so sure that I'm a Victorian spy when I've been working at Rhinelab for so long? Well, if you really want to hear it, I could tell you a little story. There was once a girl in Victoria who was incredibly fascinated to know how everything worked, and she wanted to spend her whole life studying. A dozen years later, she went to Columbia to visit a scholar from the Royal Victorian Academy of Sciences. It was not the research foundations of Victoria that found her, but an intelligence agency. Dude, is she Maylander? Is she secretly Maylander? From that day forth, the only thing she was allowed to be curious about was the secret documents of the Colombian government. Or is she a Victorian intelligence operative? Maybe. But her curiosity was not so easily stated. As she dug through Columbia's secrets, she found an opportunity to satisfy the very depths of her curiosity. Yeah, it seems like she's spying on Columbia, so she was picked up by Victorian intelligence, whom we don't have a name for, unless you consider the Trilby Ashers, I guess. At the end of the day, though, there is little that separates Columbia and Victoria. People fight over the slightest morsel of profit. The order that took so much hard work to build is now teetering on the brink of ruinous war. Who has the time to gaze up at the heavens, or even down at the ground we stand on, of which we know so little about? I find it all a tedious bore. Early morning, Hall of Writings, Vinebead Court. Good thing the window isn't too high. The clerics have gone to their morning prayers. The observation station is a sensitive topic right now. I need to avoid them. Maps, geographical records, anything that can help. The morning sun shines through the window and falls gently on the aged books. Elena dusts off the books in front of her, but finds the writing of the clerics difficult to decipher. She begins to regret not bringing a dictionary of the Yeregi language. How do they categorize this stuff? This one's a collection of quotes. Yeregander showed herself to me and said,
Seek not my temple, but my heart.
Whoa. Elena goes into panic, and a heavy book hits the floor. Through the bookshelf, she sees a surprised face under a hood, and a crossbow pointed at her face. I think she's surrendering, Enya. What do we do? Who said anything about surrendering? Wait a moment. Enya? Enya Silverash? You're the Saintist? Do you not know that? Sush. Elena nods in realization. Keep quiet and we can talk, alright? Elena nods carefully. Put away your crossbow, Joanna. Let's not scare our friend here. But she sneaked into the Vinebead court. Doesn't seem like something a good person would do. Well, we sneaked in too. Your attire. Are you from Rhinelab? Yes, I'm Elena, a researcher in the energy section. I'm sorry, I was looking for a map of Yerek, preferably recording the locations of mountains and Oranginian veins. If I find that special vein, maybe I could... You could what? Elena glances at the young woman before her, who looks about the same age as her while being the undisputed sovereign of this country. Elena is unsure if what she is about to say might offend her, but when she sees the pure curiosity on her face... Maybe I can explain how this catastrophe happened. You mean that Yerek has been safe from catastrophe for 1,000 years because of a hidden Oranginium vein? Yes. There is an undiscovered Oranginium vein in the mountains surrounding Yerek, which created an energy field that prevented catastrophes from forming. Huh. Impossible. It's Yeregander that protects Yereg. Has anyone ever seen Yeregander with their own eyes? Raise his hand. Aye. Many people have witnessed the miracles of Yeregander with their own eyes. I respect your cultures and traditions, but that doesn't prove anything. Just because you see something that can't be explained right now doesn't prove the existence of some supernatural being behind it. Enya really could say something to a lot of people about Yeregander, but she doesn't. And how do you prove the vein have anything to do with it? The interactions between Oranginium is extremely complex, and what we know is only the tip of the iceberg. Rhinelab has conducted a number of experiments in recent years. Under certain conditions, Oranginium can form energy fields that cause atmospheric Oranginium particles to disperse rather than converge, preventing the formation of catastrophes. Well, that's really useful, actually. This is something that we have not yet been able to recreate under controlled conditions. But if an Oranginium vein with the right conditions exists, then preventing catastrophe may be a real possibility. I've made detailed calculations. Excuse me, can I borrow this map?
Elena takes out her notebook and shows it to the other two. She goes on a long explanation about the formulas that as she draws on the page, not paying attention to whether her listeners are able to keep up. Finally, Elena confidently draws a circle at the bottom in the foothills on the map. Therefore, the Oranginium vein theory is the most likely explanation for Yereg's lack of catastrophes. I'm quite sure that my calculations are accurate. If we could find an Oranginium vein at this location, it would explain everything. Joanna is in a daze. She glances at Enya, hoping the Saintess will rebuke this blasphemy. But the Saintess is quiet, biting her lower lip politely. Say something. I don't know what the hell she's writing. How do you explain the recent catastrophe then? Based on the data, I suspect something from beyond the Starpod fell on Mount Carlin the day before the catastrophe. Look, these are the data that the station observed the day before the catastrophe. These are infrared sound waves created by the impact of an extraterrestrial object. So something did get through the Starpod. That's surprising. Unless the hole is still open. Is the hole still open? I thought it was repaired by now. The hole might still be open. I don't actually know. I feel like they talked about it being closed in like, I don't know, episode 15 maybe or something. I'll look that up later. Elena turns on the portable terminal, displaying a sharp break in a line graph. This object must be massive in size and scale. I think the catastrophe was caused by it falling onto the central area of the vein, causing a shift in the energy field. I mean, massive size and scale of how big was it? Surely people would have noticed a meteor. Heard something, seen something. There are all reasons for these things. It's not magic or the work of a god. It struck during the night. Yeah, but it still would light up the sky. If it was big enough, it'd still make a sound when it impacted. If it was big enough. I don't know what the relative scale which she means by massive, so. Enya cannot comprehend what she is hearing. Her memory begins to blur, and she feels a sort of link being torn apart. Yar. A familiar voice belonging to a friend, a miracle, or a hallucination? She can't believe it. She must not. Fear and loneliness comes over her, and it is all she could do to keep her arms from trembling. Oh my gosh, did she believe... Did she believe Yar was fake this whole time? Is that what's happening? It's just a hallucination. Say something, Enya. I can understand Elena's position. However, I recall a section of the Yeregander. Her heart is the heart of Carlin, deep within the mountains. From the beating of her heart grew the flesh and bones of Yereg. This is a description of the origins of Yereg, as the scriptures record. We used to assume that the heart of Carlin was Lake Silbanaherza, which was why we built Yeregander's statue there.
In my studies these past several days, however, I found that the ancient tomes consider the freezing of the heart of Carlin to be an unusual phenomenon, but Lake Silbena Herza freezes every year. Sounds like a figure of speech. Don't interrupt the saintess while she's thinking. Maybe the heart of Carlin actually refers to something else. The Great Elder guided me to the Radsorn, but it is in fact the heart of Carlin that holds the answer. You mentioned the central area of this special vein. Yes. I built a model based on the shape of Yerrig's mountains, and I calculated that extraterrestrial object likely fell on this location. Isn't this the Yerrig Kajimirsh mines? Mines? Yes! Now it all makes sense. There's no time to waste. We need to go. One moment, foreigner. We didn't say anything about letting you go around Yerrig on your own, not to mention all the disrespect you have shown to Yerrigander. It's alright, Your Honor. We don't force our faith onto others. Besides, we need to find the truth behind this catastrophe. We'll let her travel with us. Elena. While Enya and Johanna were talking, Elena put the books back on the shelf and now sits on the windowsill, waving at the other two. Actually, there's usually no one at the main entrance of the Hall of Writings.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Either way. Cold moonlight pours through the dark clouds upon the decorations of Ratatus' room. Sayuris thought she would be afraid to see Ratatus' things, but she feels so tired that she does not even have the strength for sorrow. She knows full well that she simply imitated Ratatus in dealing with the other clans a few days ago. But the more she tries, the more Ratatus' shadows lingers. Sayuris looks outside. Seems snow is once again falling on Browntail land. Look, Sayuris, do this to the snowball and it'll go even further when you try to throw it. Try it. I don't need you to teach me. I don't want to become you. I hate you. I hate everything you make me do. The echoes of memories are like the deafening roar of a mountain collapsing. She feels a lump in her chest. The dust-covered contracts and letters in the box bear witness to the development of Clan Browntail over the years. Sayuris examines the marks left behind by Ratatos on the family's business documents and finds at the bottom of each page where the names of the Browntail matriarch should be. Sayuris. Remember, Sayuris, I'm your older sister and I'll become the leader of Clan Browntail, so you need to listen to me. Prove that you can do better if you're not happy about that. When that time comes, I hope you'll carry the future of Clan Browntail on your shoulders. Sayuris anxiously flips through the pages, but each and every document has her name on it, until she reaches the bottom of the pile, that little box from her memory, a secret that belongs to the two of them. This holds all the things that I want to give you, but don't want the adults to see. Don't tell anyone, it's a secret. A secret between the two of us, you and me. This is a communicator. Sayuris gazes at the device in her hand, the dim light illuminating her hesitation. The final audio log. I got Carlin Trade's intel about the suspicious woman. I've been watching her all morning, and I think she's planning to make a run for it. This voice, it's Munch. Good. Keep a close eye on her. Don't let her get away, or pass the documents to anyone else. Yes, ma'am. Carlin Trade says we need to be careful not to draw attention. Take her alive if possible. There are a lot of questions we need to ask her. I'll tell Enceades to send help from Carlin Trade. Understood, I'll do my best.
Be careful and don't leave loose ends. Finally, there is an unanswered call from Carlin Trade. Call time yesterday. Carlin Trade?
A satisfying battle. It brought palpitations even to my heart.
Well, the idea of an extraterrestrial object and its effects on Oranginium is actually pretty exciting. Seeing that this event is slightly longer. So we're not actually like halfway, like we're now I guess kind of halfway through technically, but there is another interlude. Well, we'll see what happens, I guess. Might be another extra stream.
It's great to see you again, Doctor. I reviewed my time on board and my workflow at Rhodes Island. I'm pretty confident I can handle anything that comes my way. You've always been satisfied with my work?
Ask Janine the Light Chaser. A decal binder. It's been a while since we've gotten one of those. When inflicting slow on an enemy, attack speed +1, up to 18 times. Enemies within attack range have a fragile increasing to 14% after being in her range for more than 7 seconds. Star Charts Shine. 100% attack. Attacks can jump between enemies multiple times, up to 3 times. Nice. Stellar Gravity. The next attack targets the 2 furthest enemies from the objective point within attack range. Dealing attack as arch damage extends the slow duration to 3 seconds. Links up to 3 enemies around the target and pulls them towards the target's location with moderate force. Cool. Very cool. Attack range expands, plus 70% attack. Attack interval decreases. Attacks continuously lock onto 2 enemies, chaining them together, and every chained enemy will deal arch damage taken to the other chained enemy as extra damage. Fun. Okay, she's got some fun little mechanic with training enemies. And she works at the factory. For each Rhine Tech skill in the factory, +5 storage capacity. Neat. I kind of like... Well, I guess it's just because the jacket kind of slips off. I kind of like the E1 art a little more. But still very nice art.
Yo, Doctor. You had lunch yet?
still don't know. I still think that welfare, like, unless it's really specific, welfare need to stop being 6 stars. They should just be 5 stars at max. It's unnecessary cost for characters who are not usually that powerful. And so they just get hindered by their extra costs. She seems fun. I don't know if she has a module. If her module does anything like super cool. She does have a module. Her module improves the speed increase from slowing enemies up to 23 times instead of 18. And also gives her a 12% attack at full stack. And it increases the slow period of her trait as well. Whatever number that might mean, I don't know. Just says a moderate period instead of a short time, so who knows. By Juan Tolkien. But she does seem kind of fun. Maybe I'll try her out. I like gravity or like energy, like kind of characters are always fun. Big fan. Also, I did do the Civila Eterna simulation. Can't believe my joke called it. I was just joking, game. You didn't actually have to do that again. Took me a few tries though, because I was using the wrong skill, as it turns out. Which did make me realize that, you know, that skill 2, or skill, whatever skill is the healing one. Maybe that's skill 3 actually. Skill 3 or whatever it was is yeah, it's pretty useful maybe. Yeah, skill 3. Maybe. That's all for today. We'll be back tomorrow with the next part. It's probably not going to be the conclusion, it seems, so we'll have to extend it till Friday, I would guess. But until then, thank you all for watching, and may the sands of time treat you well. Enfield tomorrow? No, Enfield next week. For me, at least.